Alright, what's going on? Welcome to FSD Beta 10.9. Headed to my favorite testing location in Georgetown. I just manually did that left turn, or that lane change. Not left turn, left lane change. Because I knew that I had to. But let's see. Let's see how much better this FSD Beta version is. I've heard nothing but great, amazing things about it. From some people have said this thing sucks. I've driven with it for the last, let's say, day, so to and from work. Sorry, to work, right? Because I got the update last night.
Now turn right onto M Street.
And when I say to work, really what happened was I started with a calibration, and then when I got to work, I just used it a little bit around the area and didn't really get a chance to evaluate it. But for some reason, the stopping there, don't know why. So I had to accelerate out of it. Okay. I think some questions that I have just thinking out loud. Question number one, I need to get on the left lane. It's the same question I ask every time I come to Georgetown. I need to get on the left lane because I know I'm going to make a left in my favorite left turn. The vehicle puts me on the right lane. There's vehicles everywhere, so, and you know, mild congestion. So, you know, places like, or these types of situations get a little tricky.
Street Northwest.
Okay. Good. So it signals very early, much earlier than before. Excellent. Now we're getting somewhere. Now, only if it would just execute the lane change, and it did. Wow.
Now turn left onto 33rd Street Northwest.
I have a smile on my face right now. This is exciting. Question number two. How well is this left turn going to be executed? Because apparently in the release notes, there's a discussion about unprotected left turns. So I don't think this is one of those situations, but again, people have been saying that there's increased confidence in these turns, and some of these left and right turns. So let's see what happens here. You know, I'm usually not a fan of the cold weather, and for some reason I'm getting used to it, and I don't know how I feel about that. I prefer that the sun be out and shining. But luckily, I mean, it's 56 degrees outside right now, so I'll take that over the 14 degrees or whatever it has been for these last couple of days. I know some of you live in climates where it's really cold, much colder than what it is here. But yeah, so I'm kind of accelerating a little bit because I feel like I'm gonna miss my opportunity to make this turn. I don't know what. Okay, so part of the problem is the pedestrians are dancing around and they have the right of way. I'm not implying anything. But we did that turn. I just had to accelerate just a tad bit because it was just kind of moving too slow. Okay, so now that we made that turn, I want to go to, let's do this. So now we're gonna go to,
now turn left onto North Street Northwest.
To another area. Let's see if I can go to Tyson's Corner. Right. Okay, so it let all these people go, which was awesome, almost transparent to me. And now it's going to execute this left turn. Now let's just not hit other cars, and we didn't, so we're winning. That's good, so we're winning. This situation is a little, because the road is, it looks like a single lane, even though it's for two vehicles.
Now turn left onto 34th Street Northwest.
So like, look at this, like this truck is coming. FSD kind of does this weird stop creep thing, even though they're letting me go. I just kind of tapped the accelerator just a little bit. Okay. Wow. This is interesting. This is a weird one. So now it needs to make a left, and then there's like some congestion. So it's like, you know, Perrier and... Okay. Yeah, so the only problem sometimes is how slow it moves, right? It's just doing some of these maneuvers, but with patience, it works out, right? So it's my feel is that it's a little bit more faster than what it was before.
Turn right onto M Street Northwest.
So acceptable.
Left onto
It's
Francis
acceptable.
Scott Key Bridge.
Yeah, I just tapped the accelerator there because even though FSD is being nice and kind of creating space between both vehicles, I know that it kind of always creates friction with the drivers right behind you because they're like, you know, hurry up, go, you know. So yeah, that's always interesting. But yeah, this is so beautiful. So I think those of you who are watching, I think this is just an opportunity to get some really good views in the beautiful city. Specifically going down this hill, like just looking at the skyline of the vehicles and building structures, I think is pretty cool. Okay. So on the screen it says waiting for our turn, and it shows a bunch of cars. Again, most of the friction comes from other drivers, right? So here we go with Beta. Now this is another friction point. I need to make a right. Right? Beta went straight instead of keeping me on that right lane so I can make that right. Oh! Oh!
Now turn right onto M Street Northwest.
Wow! That was human-like. Awesome. Awesome. But now I need to make a left.
Now turn left onto Francis Scott Key Bridge.
This is gonna be a shit show. Well, I'll take that. I don't know what to say. So, was that the best? No. Was it acceptable? Kinda. It was kind of acceptable. You know what? It was good. I don't want to complain. It was just awkward, right? So luckily there weren't a bunch of cars next to me.
In 500 feet, turn right to take the George Washington Memorial Parkway North ramp.
It's so funny. So the steering wheel is doing a little jiggle, right? So I'm experiencing it in the car. But then I'm kind of watching other drivers to see like what their perception of the car is from the outside. And sometimes I feel like they're probably like, what's wrong with that person?
Now turn right to take the George Washington Memorial Parkway
it's acceptable.
North ramp.
I think it just, you know, when maneuvers like what you just saw occur, it just looks like, you know, a confused teenager. But actually it did pretty good because it got us to the destination. I thought it was going to reroute, right? Because when they made that right turn, it kept me all the way to the right. I'm just increasing the speed just to minimize awkwardness between myself and other vehicles. So some of the thoughts that go through my head are like, imagine being in the back seat and
in 1,000 feet,
you're watching the steering wheel like do that little weird jiggle that you all just saw occur, and you know, awkward left and right turns. So like now, look, it's slowing down, or it's going 40, which no one else is going 40, so they're freaking out. I increased the speed just to minimize the awkwardness, but yeah, just imagine being in the back seat and this autonomous excitement is occurring. You know, I don't see everyone being okay with this. But it's pretty cool to be in control of it. Like I said, nothing crazy is happening. I don't feel like I'm doing anything. I tell you what though, that merger to do the left turn right a couple miles back, that merger to do the right turn caught me completely off guard because I didn't think FSD was capable of
In
it.
1,000 feet, bear left to
So I will
Scout Run
title that
Parkway.
display of emergent capabilities because that felt and looked like an emergent FSD capability. So that is amazing. That is amazing. So I need to make a left here. And these are my
Now
concerns,
bear left
right?
to stay on Scout Run Parkway.
But it's not really a left. It's like a merge or a veering of right and left. So yeah, okay. I will. I accept this maneuver. Okay. All right. So now we're about to make a right turn.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Lee Highway.
Yep. Yeah, so we are approaching the age of disengagement-free driving.
Now turn right onto Lee Highway.
But when I say disengagement, I think it's driven by your risk threshold. And my risk threshold, risk acceptance, I can accept a significant amount of risk here. I'm willing to, let's say, and take over when appropriate. But look at this. Oh, this is perfect. Right on red. I'm allowed to. I stopped. This is perfect. Okay. Now we're about to drive behind this bus. If it was me, I would do a lane change and go around the bus. But with the software, my guess is it waits to see if there's a dramatic slowdown, which currently there is, because I'm going, you know, about 7 to 9 miles below the speed limit, and then it effectively executes and then it does another one because the lane ends. Again, FSD is displaying emergent capabilities. Not by itself. I'm guessing the developers updated their logic to do stuff like that, but that is awesome. I'm excited and happy. This is good. I love the stops now, much better than before. Before the stops, you used to apply brakes, so they were very jerky, you know, jerky. Now we're getting, you know, regen, the application of regenerative braking, and then supplemented by, you know, physical brakes, the hard braking, but at the end, and you can see when the pedal's depressed. It's actually beautiful. It's almost like art, because you try to see it happen, and with a calm state of mind as you're watching it, it's just so cool. Just like right there, you all can't see it, but I can. It let go of the brake. Now, my hope is you could have heard that it was almost like a clunk, but it was like a jish, right, to release the brake. FSD art. Now this is a weird one. So like, look, I'm just gonna take over there because it's the right thing to do, so that other drivers don't lose their mind. I think if I had waited, I would have had an opportunity to do a little veer to the right and around, but maybe I could have been more patient. Let's say that. I'm always concerned about other drivers and road rage. Not that I can hold my own, but I think I should be respectful to other people's, you know, post-work and post-life demeanor, right, or activities. So I went around because it was the right answer. Okay. So now I'm going the speed limit, and I'm noticing vehicles are driving really close to me, right? But luckily I had that yellow, and then it kind of created the right separation, so not too bad. I mean, that's the other benefit of FSD, right? Like when you're in areas that have like these traffic sensors, I mean, you're in control, right? You're doing that mind meld between you know, man and machine, right? But then you're supplemented by logic that isn't within the rules, the governance infrastructure, right, of the world, right? The civics, the legal framework. and the vehicle's just taking care of all that extra stuff. So like I'm not looking for speed limit signs, even though I probably should, because the speed limit detection is a little bit buggy. I'll give you an example. Like I was driving this afternoon, I think, going to get some lunch, and I was in a 15 mile per hour zone, and the vehicle said 25, and I even passed a sign that said 15 miles per hour, but the vehicle said 25. Okay, so knowing that these weird situations pop up, it's something to be very cognizant of. Ooh, look at this. Good job, FSD. A pedestrian just popped up out of nowhere. Oh. Cause Lord, Cause I tell you what, when the vehicle stopped, I was like, why are you stopped? I didn't even see that guy because he melded with the road as far as I was concerned, and the vehicle stopped. That's so freaking awesome. That is so awesome. And I'm not praising it as awesome because of my lack of awareness. I'm praising it as awesome because, like, those are the safety enhancements that we need to recognize at times. I'm not saying it's perfect, it's not the best, but that is a safety enhancement. I did not see that person. The vehicle defaulted to them. Now, I would also argue that if I was driving, I would have kept going because it looked like he stopped. But when he saw I stopped, he started moving. So I guess he got the hookup today, and the other drivers are probably mad at me. And when I looked at the rearview mirror, actually, I saw that several other drivers, other vehicles were wondering, like, why the hell is he stopped, and they started changing lanes to go around. So that's pretty interesting. This is just amazing. Oh, so the other day I was talking about pizza, and someone had asked a question about giving the pizza review. Yes, I need to do that. Maybe on Sunday I will whip out that slice of pizza and review it and show why I love it. From what's it called again? I think it's something Paradiso, something like that. Pizza Paradiso in Georgetown. It's so freaking good. In fact, none of them have seen my face. And I even took like a month and a half break. But I went there recently, and the guy was like, I remember you, here's your cheese and pepper. And I was like, thank you. I'm gonna eat this pizza slowly. It was so freaking good. When my wife gets back, I will take her there, because she likes the pizza too. She likes the pizza formaggio. Again, I'm not a connoisseur. I just eat stuff. But she likes that one, and I like it too. I also like the margarita. I used to call it margaretti, and I used to have people correct me, like, it's margarita, and I'm like, no, it's margaretti. Okay, enough pizza talk. Like, look at this, right? What happens when your car's driving itself? Everything becomes boring. Unless you... And I was thinking the other day, like, what would I be doing if the vehicle was driving itself? Well, let's see. I would probably be typing something or doing work or playing a game on my iPhone or on Twitter or YouTube. Like, why are you? Okay, good. So it kind of slowed down because that pedestrian was standing like they were about to walk. So that was pretty interesting. Some of these new home designs are pretty cool too. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to Tyson's Corner, right? It's about 5 miles away.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Washington Boulevard.
We got some complex maneuvers coming up.
Now turn right onto Washington Boulevard.
There you go. Yeah. So it's like, does the car have a bias for action? Just freaking go, dude. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna cut. I hate this level of indecisiveness. It causes so much friction. Okay.
In 500 feet,
good.
turn left onto 25th Street North.
Oh, now it needs to get on the left. Oh, slows down.
Now turn left onto 25th Street North.
It's probably gonna mess it up, but I like it. Oh, I was supposed to make this left, but I jacked it up, so I'm just gonna make the. I got it. Okay, so I had to be decisive there. I took over because FSD did not change lanes fast enough, but it was a good attempt. It was a good attempt. Yeah, but it's still getting better. I'm impressed. Ooh, try to slow down because that vehicle was coming. Why? I don't know, because the vehicle was so far ahead that it could have mitigated the risk, but not bad. Okay. You know, it's funny, when you go to the speed limit, in your mind, you're like, I'm being a good driver. But in the minds of other drivers, they're like, yeah, that guy's an idiot. Why is he driving so slow? Oh, Lord. Yeah, I think as I've gotten older, I have learned not to get angry at other drivers. Even though I'm not perfect at it, but I think that's just the best thing, is not to even waste your energy getting angry.
In 500 feet, then right onto Great Falls Street.
But instead, just, you know, have some empathy. Well, I think the only time I've seen myself get angry is when someone blows their horn. But it's like why did you blow your horn? You know, like Hulk style. Well, that's a cool part. But yeah, I've been working on, you know, what it means to be, you know, observant and chill. And it's a pretty educational experience for myself. But yeah, I can see the general populace being upset that either people with autonomous vehicles or upset at the vehicles themselves or the companies. Like I can see it being a legal nightmare. And everyone's gonna look to blame the implementer of the capability. So that is gonna be interesting future for all. I do like how certain companies are like redundancy. But I think the challenge is not having redundant sensors. So to give an example, computer vision, right? Integration of LiDAR. So when I say vision, I haven't seen a model actually that uses LiDAR, but let's just say I'm going to treat them as separate modalities.
500 feet,
So vision, LiDAR, and radar. You know, some companies, you know, consider all those things, all those modalities or sensor types as premium. But it was so interesting recently to see Tesla characterize one as a crutch, or several of them as crutches, right, due to how they're implemented. Ooh, so I have a yellow flashing arrow and this thing executes this turn like a champ. Ugh. Sweet. Yep, so so Tesla considers some of them a crutch. I think that's interesting, right? So like, I'll give you an example. And Elon's claim is that with vision, you know, vision looks like or does what a human does, right? So but now with vision on vehicles, now I can, you know, the vehicle should be able to see 360 degrees. So I'm seeing it in practice, I'm experiencing it in practice, My only concern is, yes, we have eyes, but we also have eyelids that, right, that clean themselves, right? Eyelids and eyelashes that serve a purpose. And with the current vision approach, you could claim the windshield wipers are the eyelids, right, from the cleansing perspective, and eyelashes. But that only applies to 3 of the 8 cameras, right? I've seen other manufacturers do things like apply a squirting mechanism for the other cameras, right? So like I think Rivian does this where their underbody camera has like a squirt or cleansing thing, which I think is pretty cool, and it makes perfect sense, especially for the anticipated use cases of Rivian users. I guess my only concern is for Tesla is that problem in itself is, okay, well, assuming that my lead camera is the only sensor that I can clean, right? My 3 front-facing cameras. Like, how do I handle, the side cameras, right? Elon had said something about adding like a coating on it that will make the surface hydrophobic. I mean, that's well and dandy, but how does that account for like mud and some of these other blocking? Okay, so this is interesting. Ooh, perfect. Emergent capabilities is what we're seeing today. Like, look at this. Look at how the vehicle entered. I just hate the fact the speed limit is 25, because it doesn't seem like that's what it should be, but just look at that. So cute. I'm so impressed. And not just impressed, I'm proud of the Tesla team, right? Like, just being able to iterate on a product that, you're actively getting criticized about, and mature it to a level that, mature it to levels, or mature the process to the state by which is not only repeatable, but it can evolve. Like, that is impressive. Like, for them to get where they're at today. And then the next thing, I think about is, well, why? What prevented them from applying this process years ago? And just, again, that is just so amazing to see, just the spirit of innovation in America. To see what these guys have done. I mean, they're not done yet, but what they're doing is just impressive. Absolutely impressive. Not only on the full self-driving side, like I'm looking to my left, there's like superchargers, right? These fast charging capabilities that are deployed to scale and actually provide a service that is in demand. One wonders, is Tesla profitable with their superchargers, or is it a sunk cost? Like, I don't know. How much money do they make on these charging environments? And then the other piece too is just monitoring the inclusion of other electric vehicles and enabling them to be able to be charged by the supercharger stations. That's a pretty significant step in that discussion space. It's all impressive though, very, very impressive. So for some reason it just stopped. I know why. So that's one thing that Tesla needs to fix, is this logic for driving around emergent lanes. Right, so lanes that converge where people, you know, coming off the highway, it's on ramp. The vehicle just does these awkward slowdowns. Like I almost feel like it should just go.
1,000 feet, turn right
But
onto
it is what
Fashion
it
Boulevard.
is. Alright. So I made it to my destination. I took over a couple of times because I just wanted to. And I didn't feel comfortable. But yeah, I'm gonna take over now because I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Now turn
So
right
thank you for
onto
joining me. I
Fashion
hope you're
Boulevard.
able to take away some perspectives in regards to
In 500 feet,
this
turn left onto Tyson's Corner
10.9.
Center.
And yeah, have a wonderful day.